You know, I'm bored. Let's see what's happening in the Pokemon community.
As the most recent episode of the Pokemon X, Y, and Z anime comes to a close, we find out that Serena gives something very special to Ash, which is also something very special in turn because it means... No!
You'll never see it coming. You see that my mind is the best for eyes. You're coming.
By the way, we're skipping his actual list.
Oh, you were expecting Serena on this list? Well, I guess now it's a good time to do a review of the final episode for the anime because I'm tired of all these Amour shippers saying that Serena kissed Ash because, for one, you don't even see it. So, I mean, it's not as good as all the other kisses that Ash has had. But also, people are saying, oh, it was on the lips and that's why they couldn't show it and that's why they looked, like, so shocked when it happened. But, I mean, you can see Brock, like, lost it when Latios kissed Ash. And then, like, the same thing, like, Misty got really grumpy at the Melody kiss as well. So I mean, that's what happens. People are kind of shocked, especially when like two kids are kissing. But if anything, this is like the biggest blow to Amour shipping possible. So like, just we don't see it. So don't put it in your mind that they kissed on the lips and they weren't allowed to show it.
Well, I am not an Amour shipper, or a shipper of anything really. You're all over the damn place. Just because it wasn't shown doesn't mean it couldn't be on the lips. There's a reason why there's something called the kissing discretion shot. It's a way to imply a kiss happened using camera angles that don't directly show it happening. There are no reason why this trope can and will happen, but for this case, there are mainly two reasons why they didn't show it. 1. Avoiding controversy. I know this is a foreign concept for you, Verlisify, who's a bloodhound for starting controversy and kicking up drama, but considering all the female partners and the fans of said female partners throughout the better half of 2 decades of Pokemon anime, if they did show the kiss on screen, then that would mean that the only female companion to ever really express their full affection towards Ash would be Serena at this point, which would not only be a bit unfair to the people who shipped Ash with the other girls that he traveled with, but pretty much make any other shipping pretty much impossible. You have to consider fan backlash with these sorts of things. People got pissed when Naruto and Sasuke didn't end up being gay for each other. There's a reason why there's a lot of ambiguity in a lot of these scenes like this, which leads to my next point, the ambiguity. The imagination is a very fun thing to have. Maybe you should invest in one, Verlisify. They're real cheap and can help you make your videos a lot better. While you will claim throughout the video that it was a kiss on the cheek, there's no real evidence to support either it or if it was on the lips. I mean, you attempt to, and I'll get into that later, but the fact of the matter is it can be made all the more memorable when left to the imagination. This has been done in so many forms of animation and entertainment. One of the more controversial ones come from The Legend of Korra, where the last scene of Korra and Asami looking into each other's eyes and the camera pans up. Or heck, video games have done this all the time. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 have these kinds of things going on in them too. So, yeah.
I mean, even if you see how she's sliding off, you know, the most action that you could get as you're sliding away on an escalator is a peck on the cheek, and that's kind of it. But another thing that happens is, look, Ash isn't even phased. He doesn't even care about this kiss from Serena. He cared more about Jesse and James kissing him. He cared more about all of these other kisses. Like, he looked shocked. He looked like he enjoyed it a bit more, but not the kiss from Serena. So if anything, that means, like, Amour shipping's done. Like, okay, Serena has a thing for Ash, but they don't have a thing for each other. This was shown throughout the anime. This is why Amour shipping blew up so much, because of that thirst.
I love how you say that Ash isn't even phased when your own video has evidence proving you wrong. Near the beginning, when you're going on about how you can't kiss someone on the lips while moving back from an escalator. Actually, let me go off on a tangent, because this is someone who actually has done it at airports. Kissing someone goodbye on escalators. I can attest that it is possible to kiss someone on the lips. Look, this is my own personal experience, and if you guys want to hound me on it, I don't care. It depends on how you're facing someone at the escalators. Let's just go with how Ash and Serena are positioned. With Ash facing forward, the best way to kiss someone on the lips in that situation, since you would have to lean right or left slightly. And considering that Serena had to be on her tiptoes to kiss Ash, leaning on the left or right would be a bit more difficult to pull off a kiss since you also have to lean in more. Now granted, I will admit this may or may not be the case since we can't see the upper bodies, but my point is kissing someone on the lips while going down an escalator is possible. I say this as someone who has had a lot of experience and not only being the recipient, but also doing it myself. You can say that my experience doesn't hold a lot of weight here, but it holds a lot more than what Verlisify does here. He just straight up says it's impossible without explaining why and expects his audience to swallow it. Granted, with a fan base like that, mutter mutter mutter. But back onto point, Ash doesn't seem fazed. How convenient you show the one scene after he realizes what happened after Serena calls out to him, when your own video shows 2 instances of Ash being surprised and reeling in shock.
Final episode for the anime because I'm tired of all these Amour shippers saying that Serena kissed Ash.
And Ash is still standing there, surprised. It isn't until Serena says arigato that Ash realizes that the girl who just kissed him is leaving and changes the expression to one you stopped on. She had to call out to him to get him to come back to the real world. Secondly, when Serena does kiss Ash, we see that he's taken aback by the sudden gesture. How do we know this? We see Ash's right leg moving back, as a sign of him being taken surprise. That's not how one would be unfazed by being kissed. Now, I can make the more obvious joke here, but frankly, I'm not one for treading the water. And frankly, the rest of the video is BS and... wait. This Verlisify video is just over 3 minutes? Holy Arceus! He made a video that wasn't over 10 minutes long! It's a miracle! I can finally ascend! I'm back! You can't ascend yet, you're not done. Come on, what else do I need to do?
So in a recent video, I talked about how insane Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to be because we have Terrain Wars, and we also have Tapu Bulu making Secret Power deal damage and also put opponents to sleep. I feel that that is awesome and absolutely busted, so I was really happy to make the video, but then I was super crushed to see that not a lot of people enjoy the video as well.
Oh boy, I feel like we're gonna see all the dislikes are bots again.
And that's because they think it's clickbait. Well, first off, that is absolutely wrong. That clickbait is when you lie, when you put something false in your thumbnail or title, and then you just kind of lie and deceive around it or use misinformation. My video doesn't do that at all, so it's objectively not clickbait, which is why I was really confused at this.
Yeah, it kinda does. I saw your video and, Arceus, I wish I could have taken those 10 minutes back. And while I admit you did bring up an interesting strategy and one that seems to be powerful, that alone doesn't make Tapu Bulu the best new Pokemon that was just revealed. And there are a number of reasons why your own video can be considered clickbait. 1. A just revealed Pokemon. Yeah, well, Tapu Bulu was officially revealed 5 days before your own video. Now, while that doesn't seem like a long time, you have to consider what Verlisify's upload date in his content style. On average, he posts 2 to 3 videos a day, and covers whatever news is revealed on that. Usually on the same day, or if not that, the day after it's been revealed. For a channel that covers news 5 days after the fact, and need I remind you of your title, just revealed, implies that it revealed in the last 24 hours before you posted your video. So for a channel like yours, it's not just revealed, it's been revealed. That's kind of the double-edged sword of a constant upload date in being a news-related channel. This kind of thing can be in old news after a day or 2. Secondly, while you talk about the best new Pokemon and bring up strategy, we're still not given a lot when it comes to the Tapus, like stats. You can't just declare to be the best new Pokemon, and even then your strategy you bring up isn't perfect. A fast poison type Pokemon like Crobat can probably take Tapu down due to it being weak to poison type moves thanks to its grass and fiery typing. Even then, your subjective view of clickbait is only one level of clickbait. That's the thing about clickbait. There are many shades of gray about it. There are levels of clickbait, just like there are levels of being a jerk, levels of being a Pokemon fan, levels of being anything. But nah, this is Verlisify. Everything's black and white. Either something is or isn't clickbait. Oh wait, I hate fifth generation. Never mind. Whoa. What just happened there?
And that's when I realized an astonishing amount of people do not know what clickbait is, so I might as well go and make this video, because I think this video needs to be made since the Pokemon community is pretty oblivious to what actually is clickbait. And let's see what I did right here. Best new Pokemon was just revealed in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and then I went through up this thumbnail. Now, nothing here is straight up clickbait. An arrow isn't clickbait, red circle isn't clickbait, and then like caps or a silhouetted thing. None of those things are clickbait.
Yeah, they are. They're using the mean to attract people to your videos. Just because you have a very specific definition of clickbait, that doesn't mean it's the sole definition. Words and terms can have multiple meanings.
That it has to be false information, that there has to be some kind of deception involved, and some people are like, oh, well, the silhouette, you could have just showed Tapu Bulu. Here's how I feel. I feel that you actually see this on a lot of other channels that aren't even known for clickbait, that do like legitimate content and stuff, that I like having a sense of mystery. That I feel that with every top 10 list, with every trivia video, that there needs to be something learned, that you need to have like a good knowledge thing right here. So when you see that outline, you're gonna be like, wait, what is the best Pokemon? Like, is that Tapu Bulu? Because it has the Belltail, and it looks a lot like Tapu Bulu. So it's like, how is Tapu Bulu the best? It gauges intrigue, but it's not clickbait.
One thing I hate doing is repeating myself, but since your video doesn't really prove it's the best and just shows an interesting strategy, you are really misleading your audience. I love how you say, here's how I feel, when you're trying to be objective. Newsflash, when you're trying to be objective, feelings don't play a part in this. That's not objectivity, that's subjectivity.
That's the people watching the video's fault, and then they're just wrong for calling it clickbait on top of that. Now let's go and look at some examples of what is clickbait, because I think Master Saint is probably one of the best. You know, what happens if you evolve Pokemon with a Mega Stone? Well, we don't know, because Pokemon Go doesn't have Megas. You know, we don't have 100 kilometers eggs, we don't have shiny Mega Rayquaza, we don't have Typhlosion, we don't have any of these things, and that's where false information comes in. So yes, you can use caps to lie, you can use an arrow to lie, you can use a red circle to lie. That's when it becomes clickbait, but not when they're just used to show things that are actually in the video. You know, this egg doesn't exist, all these things. This one is amazing. Like, I don't understand if either, like, if Master Saint is an idiot or if the Pokemon Go community is full of idiots.
Stop. Just stop calling people idiots. This is something you do all the bloody time. YouTube, Twitter, hell, since you even gone on record saying you act like you do in your videos, I'm gonna bet you call people idiots all the time in real life to their faces. Even if it's just for disagreeing with you on small matters. Heck, you do this in this video, and I remember you doing that in your Gen 1 rant. Can you not even go 10 minutes without backing up your claims with actual evidence without resorting to ad hominem attacks and blocking? It utterly baffles me how Verlisify can keep getting attraction when he calls his audience idiots. Remember people, this was the guy who said he didn't want your sub if you disagree with him on anything. Now that being said, does Master Saint do clickbait? Yes. But this is where the shades of grey come to light again. Clickbait can involve lying to your audience, yes, but that isn't the only factor to clickbait. And you guys may be asking, how can I say this without proof? Well, I actually do, because eventually after calling out a number of other YouTubers on clickbait, Verlisify will actually talk about definitions. So since I don't want to deal with that repetitive Tauros crap,
and this community right here, because this isn't clickbait, and then the clickbait videos end up doing better. Now, what about the actual, like, definition of clickbait? Well, I feel I've used this before, but Jeremy Gaming Curios has described it good.
This makes the video misleading and as a result pretty much ruins it because the viewer gets
That it is about the misinformation. That you can talk to any large YouTuber that doesn't clickbait, and they'll all agree on that.
you know, it's kind of ironic, because you linked this video to me before you blocked me, so I couldn't actually see it when you gave it to me on Twitter. But now that I've seen it here, I watched the rest of the video that he shows here, and I have a few things to say. One, just because larger YouTubers say what is and isn't clickbait, that does not make them the official guideline. That does not make them the officials of what is and isn't clickbait. A lot of YouTubers who do these clickbait videos actually use subjective terms for it. 2. Just because you found someone who validates your opinion, keyword opinion, of what clickbait is and isn't, that doesn't immediately invalidate the opposing opinion. Argumentum ad populum is a thing, and it's something that you like to keep using in your damn videos. And 3. You know what's really funny? This guy, Jeremy Gaming Curious, actually proves your video was clickbait. Here, watch.
It's only clickbait if the video itself does not deliver on what the title promises. If you have a sensationalized or an over-exaggerated title, but then the video is about that exact very thing, that's not clickbait because it wasn't misleading. The video was about exactly what you think it would be about from the title. It does make your video a little bit more exciting, and it certainly makes it more appealing to click on, but there's a distinction between the two. And with that said, the video that I made about the Warwick rework yesterday was absolutely clickbait. There's no argument there. When I published the video, I didn't really think it was, and I thought the video delivered on the topic, but it did not. The title was misleading and the video didn't deliver at all, and that was not okay, and I messed up big time with that, and there's no excuse for doing that, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again. It wasn't something I did on purpose, but it was a big mistake on my part, and I take full responsibility, and once again, I'm gonna make my absolute best to make sure it doesn't happen again, and if it does, please call me out on it, and I'm really sorry that you guys had to deal with that. And this Warwick video is a good example of a video that was legitimately clickbait.
The video that he talks about is the one you see in the screenshot called Warwick Potential New Abilities. Huh. Seems a lot like strongest Pokemon just revealed in Sun and Moon. Makes me wonder why you stopped the video before he gave an example that goes against your narrative.
Because if you look at this definition right here, this isn't a real definition. Like, people will go like, oh, but if you go in Google, also I need to get this in screen.
Verlisify, one of the professional PokeTubers of our generation.
If you Google clickbait, they'll get this definition. Content, especially of a sensational or provocative nature, whose main purpose is to attract attention or draw visitors to a particular webpage. First off, this is taking it off of Wikipedia. So that's like not even official right there. And
Verlisify. However, if those facts don't back up what he's saying, they don't count.
the definition of cheating, tagged dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain advantage, especially in game. And even if you don't believe that it gives an advantage, it's still cheating because rule breaking is cheating. You know,
Here we can see Verlisify has pulled up a Wikipedia definition of cheating, where he defines it and calls people cheaters based on that definition. That definition happens to work for him. He likes that definition. That definition helps him get his point across. Good, good. You know, I'm glad he can recognize that. Now, in this next video clip, it shows him, and he finds a definition for clickbait while he's trying to say that he's not a clickbaiter, and that definition, it goes against him too much. He goes, it's just a Wikipedia definition. You can't trust Wikipedia definition. But you just use a Wikipedia definition, and you've used Wikipedia definitions before. You're so fond of them.
go like, oh, but if you go in Google, also I need to get this in screen. If you Google clickbait, they'll get this definition. Content, especially of a sensational or provocative nature, whose main purpose is to attract attention or draw visitors to a particular webpage. First off, this is taking it off of Wikipedia. So that's like not even official right there. And
Look, I realize Wikipedia isn't known to be the greatest source for facts, something that I'll happily agree to, but at the same time, your definition of clickbait isn't the one in true definition. You can bring up as many people as you want who agree with you on that, and then just a few minutes later prove that you're wrong, but once again, you're relying on a few fallacies here. Ad populum, confirmation bias, and many, many more. And even then, looking at your own video again, there are definition websites that show similar definitions to the one you dismissed. And while you are about to dive headfirst into Merriam-Webster, so let's have some fun right there, boys and girls.
problem is, even when we go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary for the definition of clickbait, it's still in the unabridged dictionary. So it's not even, there's like no official definition for clickbait, but I think the best way of doing it is looking at the actual definition. That if we go to this definition right here, it defines nothing. That anything is sensational or provocative. Anything wants to attract or draw visitors to a webpage, because that's the reason why we are making content on the internet. We want people to see our video, and it's not always for monetary gain. That I want people to hear my thoughts about clickbait, so there's less people that are misinformed about clickbait.
You know, I'd take this seriously if you didn't put ads on the video.
But because of that, you can really just dumb this down to literally everything being made to be clickbait. Oh, you use search engine optimization? Clickbait, because you want people on your webpage. Oh, you used a non-default thumbnail on YouTube? Clickbait. That means everything is clickbait, which is why this is a terrible definition. And also, YouTube clickbaiting and webpage and like article clickbaiting is a lot different, because there's different forms of media involved, and a lot of YouTubers do agree on that as well. Then this one's really interesting, even if we're going off the Merriam-Webster one, which would be more official than this definition right here. But it says, there's no singular way to craft clickbait, but the essence is clear. Lure, no, trick your readers to the site. Now, people will show me this definition, be like, fine, you don't like the Wikipedia definition, this definition proves that you're wrong in your clickbaiting, except it actually proves me right because of that right there. It's about tricking people. It's about tricking people, not luring them. That's what this dash means right here.
That's a quote, genius! And once again, while this is another instance of Verlisify trying to use ad populum again, this is also another instance of his cherry-picking, shooting himself in the foot. Because the full quote is, "It is difficult to remember a time when you could scroll through the social media outlet of your choice and not be bombarded with, 'You'll never believe what happened when,' 'This is the cutest thing ever.' This is the biggest mistake you can make. Take this quiz to see which character you are on. They are all classic clickbait models, and they are irritating as hell. There is no singular way to craft clickbait, but the essence is clear. Lure, no, trick readers to your site." Emily Shire, The Daily Beast. You can't just select one portion of a quote and use it to back yourself up. It is the full quote because you can tell because of the brackets, these things. And notice what Emily said, and one of the examples that Emily gives in said quote that you don't even seem to be able to read is, "This is the cutest thing ever," similar to "the strongest Pokemon in Sun and Moon just revealed," or "the greatest Pokemon," or the greatest sweep. That's considered clickbait because you decide to not even read the damn quote. So yes, you have just effectively proven that it is clickbait. Congratulations!
Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations!
That's about lure? No, trick people. And they'll say that, you know, I'm luring people and luring is the same as tricking. No, that's why we have definitions. We have definitions to define what something is.
And you know what else we have here? Synonyms. You know, words that have the same meaning as each other. Lure is another word for bait. And guess what? According to dictionary.com, oh look, a synonym for lure is trick. You fail at English. There, done! I'm done with the video, because all he does is try to justify a few other of his videos and trying to make it seem like he's the good guy and the paragon of the Pokemon community. Final thoughts? Screw final thoughts is Verlisify! That's it! Arceus has forsaken me! Oh, then I guess you don't want this snow cone. Yes! Yes, I do! No, sorry, doubter. Please! No, you watch me do this. No! Who's laughing now, Cincinnati hot plate? Wait, what? Nothing. Just keep doing commentaries for another year. No!